total blackout.
Yeah.
Davina would tell me about them, you know, not the next day or anything like that, but in her story. And plus I hear my daughter give her story in AA, and I will go to support her because I love her, but I hate
hearing that,
because she flat out say I was a monster. If they were identical, that they would see me pull in the driveway and instantly go to their room scared to death because they didn't know what dad was going to be like.
And is that's what you did when you were young?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She will actually say that the only time that she'll say, hey, we had fun. We'd go camping and dad was a totally different person camping or out with people. But when I was at home, I was a monster. And I don't know why at all, but I was just downright evil.
Were there ever times where you would wake up the next morning and think, man, what did I do?
No.
Never?
Back then I had something called, not something called, but it was uncontrollable anger. I would be we'd be sitting at the supper table eating. We'd eat every night as a family. And if one of my kids would say something that happened at school or wouldn't eat something, I would blow up. And it was just uncontrollable rage.
So not a normal reaction.
It's just whatever. Uncontrollable rage.
Yeah.
Where I just, take my plate and just throw my plate of food and just go off.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nothing they did.
Right.
At all. They were just kids.
It was just your reaction.
It was my way of thinking. It was just totally wrong.
Yeah.
Totally wrong.
It's so hard to get to that realization. And man, I think every parent, obviously not to that degree, but we all have done things. I know I've done things where now I will, if something happened like that the next day, be like, you're a jerk or whatever, which you said you didn't have. But, I know that, that alcohol that's the thing about alcohol. And I know the opiates do it too, but alcohol just, blows everything up.
Oh yeah.
Drunks are either really funny
or really mean. And I would go from funny to mean instantly. When I went to rehab, I asked Amita for help, and she instantly, when I said, I need help, she instantly started crying and she left. She walked out the door, and I thought,
oh man,
for years,
she'd been waiting to hear that.
And I asked for help and she leaves. I really didn't. I just thought I liked doing pills a lot.
Well, because I think that's the rub with it, is that it escalates from recreation to,
or from pain, actual pain, to dependency.
Yeah, exactly.
Demita's been addicted to pain medication. She's not an addict.
No, yeah.
But she's been physically and mentally addicted to pain medication.
Yeah, it's rough. If you, it don't take long. No, man. Because you were a true regular, it sounds like,
In rehab, my counselor, which is a good friend of mine now, would call me a piece of shit.
Yeah.
He'd walk in and say, good morning, you piece of shit. Because that's how I felt. I knew what I did to my kids. I knew what I did to my wife. And that's how I felt. I felt that bad. And so that's what I did.
And so your counselor would call you that?
Yeah. He was a rough ass one.
Yeah.
I mean, he was rough. I mean, it was tough love.
I was going to say that was probably some tough love.
Tough love.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. But that's when I had that plan of mine that I was going to not do drugs, not drink, detoxing off of opiates and alcohol.